the information off the CVR. Hopefully, there was some verbal acknowledgement of what the struggle was on that airplane, similar to this one. It goes on. At 57:57, the captain again stated, "I'm fighting the controls." All right. As the CVR recorded the first officer stating unintelligibly, I had it on, and then we don't hear anything after that. Then the captain confirmed that the first officer, that the landing gear was up, and instructed him to retract the flaps. All right. So he's starting to clean up the airplane at this point. At 58:07, the captain made his third mention of an unspecified control problem, stating, "What the expletive is going on," right? "I'm fighting the control." So you know here that there's a control issue on this airplane, and the captain is fighting it. At 58:13, the first officer asked, "How's your trim set? Is that the way you want it?" About 58:21, the captain began to describe the control problem more specifically, stating, "I'm fighting the controls. It wants to turn hard left." So now he's fighting the airplane, trying to get it to come right, and the airplane's trying to get him to go left. And the first officer again said, "How's your trim down there?" The captain's response, which began, "Trim has nothing," and then he's cut off, was interrupted when the first officer erroneously responded to an ATC transmission intended for another aircraft. So again, you see how busy it is for both airplanes, for both pilots in that aircraft. At 58:45, the CVR recorded the captain stating, "Something is wrong with the trim, the rudder trim." The captain questioned the altitude clearance. The first officer stated they were cleared to 3,000 feet. The captain stated, "All right, something is wrong with our rudders, and I don't know what." At 59:04, the first officer stated, the first officer asked the captain what he wanted to do. Then at 59:07, the first officer asked, "How's that? Any better?" The CVR recorded the captain stating, "No, we got a trim problem." As there's a grunt they hear. "Tell him we got to get back. We got to come back and land." At 59:19, the CVR recorded the captain saying, "She's rolling on me. Help me, help me." And the first officer responded, "I am." All right. And you can't get the emphasis, but I've been in an airplane that did this before. I was in a Beechcraft King Air, and I'm pulling this thing to the right for all it's worth, and it's wanting to go to the left. All right. I'm looking at the trim. I'm looking at the engines, everything. The captain asked at 59:24, the captain asked the first officer to pull the autopilot circuit breakers, and the first officer responded, "Where is it?" At 59:29, the CVR recorded the captain stating, "Tell them we got a control problem." At 59:30, the first officer advised Milwaukee Departure Control that they had a control problem. It goes down to the second to last paragraph. At 16:26, the captain transmitted to Milwaukee